Hidden in every gamer's library, you'll find at least one embarrassing title, probably wedged between respectable games like The Last of Us and Portal. If you're really smart, you'll just hide stuff like Dragon's Crown in your Red Dead Redemption case. But really,
ain't nobody got time for that!
So without further preamble, prepare to get defensive, angry gamers. Here are a few video games that everyone will judge you for playing. The Dead or Alive Xtreme series. The Dead or Alive video game series has respectable enough origins, but even back in 1996 it quickly became more popular for its jiggle physics than its engrossing storyline. As time went on, the fighting game series branched off into extreme territory and began to focus on volleyball, the most extreme sport of all. In this series, which is now in its third instalment, you play as the ladies from the original Dead or Alive fighting series, apparently taking a break from all the usual bloodshed at a relaxing beach resort. It goes without saying that they're all in skimpy bikinis, and it's not all just beach volleyball, it's also whatever this is. Needless to say, almost all of this series is best played at home, alone, and without an audience. The fact that it's mostly a pervy dress-up game filled with busty anime girls should be enough to make you think twice about, pulling out your controller to play this one whilst there's anyone else around. Just Dance. Any of the Just Dance games are fine for parties, but if you've ever watched anyone playing it, you know that it's also perfect for making embarrassing YouTube videos. Even if you're having fun busting a move, chances are high that you're going to look pretty ridiculous. Basically, you think you look like this. But you really look like this. Sorry. If you're over the age of 21, the only real excuse you have for playing a game like this is that you like to drink alone. Hatoful Boyfriend. Let's just get this out the way. Japan is wonderful and weird, and nowhere is that more apparent than in their video games. So it should come as no surprise that in this Japanese dating simulator, you attempt to romance boy birds. That's right, not just boys, but boys who are also birds. It's probably embarrassing enough that you're playing a dating sim, but the fact that you're trying, even virtually, to make some feathered friends with benefits is worth a lifetime of shame. Even if you play it as a gag, just do yourself a favour and close the blinds. Bird romance is just plain gross. Muscle March. In Muscle March for the Wii, you have to help your greasy, muscle-bound bodybuilder chase after protein-powdered stealing imps and robots. To do this, you have to use your Wii motion controls to fit through holes in walls by assuming different bodybuilding poses. It's a hilarious premise, but in practice, you're just staring at masculine, undulating buttocks for an hour. And honestly, it's cool if that's your thing, but there are probably better options out there to do that sort of thing. The fact that it had an official US release at all is nothing short of a miracle. A sweaty, oily miracle. Lollipop Chainsaw. Teen cheerleader Juliet Starlick must face hordes of the undead while armed with a chainsaw, because it's a collaboration between famed game designer Suda51 and filmmaker James Gunn. Lollipop Chainsaw is full of over-the-top weirdness and violence, which itself is pretty standard for video games. What's a little harder to ignore is the fact that players can dress up the heroine in a number of sexy alternative outfits, and can even earn an achievement trophy for panning the camera to look up her skirt.
Have Juliet do plenty of cartwheels while wearing those little white panties with the teddy bears.
Go ahead and enjoy that in the privacy of your room, but good luck explaining that to your mum.
First she screams, "George, what are you doing? My God!" And it looked like she was going to faint. She started clutching the wall, trying to hang on to it. Man. I didn't know whether to try and keep her from falling or zip up.
Skylanders. The Skylanders series is aimed at young gamers who want to build up a collection of fun, colourful figurines that can be brought to life in a fantasy world. which is actually kinda cool. But what if you, as a fully grown adult, choose to fill your life with cartoon figurines of gladiator whales, crystal dragons, and cyclops zombies? No, that still sounds kinda cool. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, I've wasted my life.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos like the one you just saw, and leave us a comment. Let us know which video games you wouldn't be caught playing.